Bienvenue dans notre segment Law, Politics and Society. Non pas moi, c'est Max Sinal, c'est un plaisir pour moi rejoindre à soi et merci beaucoup d'être aidé nous entrer la CAO. Avec moi, comme à l'ordinaire, c'est Maître André Pierre, un avocat de renommée qui a 18 ans d'expérience, professeur à l'université, ancien magistrat de la ville de North Miami et je ne dis à mes derniers chapeaux, c'est consultant politique. Bonsoir, Maître André Pierre.
Bonsoir, Maxo. Bonsoir, tout le monde qui a regardé le show. Nous sommes bien contents de nous rencontrer. And we have an exciting show for you this evening. We have a great lawyer, Attorney Carla Jones. She's here with us. Attorney Carla Jones is the managing partner for Walton, Jones and Brown. She has been a lawyer 17 ans depuis qu'elle est avocat. Après qu'elle fin gradué à l'université, elle a travaillé pour une banque. Elle fini après ça, qu'on y a que lycée et les office parler, la pratiquer. Ça qui est important pour nous comprendre que l'avocat Carla Jones fait tous les débords. Il c'est ça que il fait real estate. Il était à travers une banque à prêter mon l'argent qui a besoin d'acheter caille. Il a fini qu'on y a que la défendre monde que you know, with your house is in foreclosure, whether that would be, you know, commercial real estate transactions, you know, whether that would be, you know, mortgages. But Attorney Carla Jones is here to tell us a lot about that process from the time that you purchase your first home and to the time that whether the bank or the lender is trying to take it away from you, whether you're trying to borrow some money. Attorney Carla Jones gonna pretty much, you know, let you know what you need to know in order to protect your own interests.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure being here.
Attorney Jones, even though the economy has been rebounding, but people still struggling to make their payments, and a lot of banks are taking their homes away from them. If I have a problem with a foreclosure, who should I contact first to help me?
Okay. Let me go back, take it back a little bit. This economy is still struggling. It is rebounding. As you know, the real estate values hit its high in 2006 and actually started hitting its real low in 2006. And before that, a lot of homeowners were feeling the benefits of increased value, also feeling the benefits of a lot of the creative loans that were out there at the time. You know, for someone who, you know, made $60,000, they had the ability to get a home, you know, above and beyond what that salary can carry because of the creative loans that were available at that time. What we're seeing now is the impact of the no-doc loans, that is, no documentation required loans, and a lot of people who thought that the real estate levels were going to continue to increase and the economy and jobs were going to continue to do well. A lot of people, although they entered into those creative loans, really want their homes. They wanted their homes to live for a very long time, not just for investment purposes. So right now, what's happening is, you know, some of the investors who utilize the creative loans are getting out of the industry. They're just leaving. What we're now seeing is a lot of the homeowners who entered into the creative loans that want to keep their homes are our clients currently. So what's happening is a lot of homeowners do come to our office for help to save their homes, even before the foreclosure process. Generally what happens is a homeowner goes to the bank and they say, hey, look, I can't afford to pay this loan this way anymore. Can you help me?
But it's probably better to come to the lawyer because once you go to that lender at the bank, you know, sometimes, you know, you may not be able to get the best deal or the best solution under the sun. So Sometimes, you know, they come to you as the lawyer that they having a difficulty in making those payments. And those lenders, you know, they don't want the home back. You know, they really want you to stay in your home.
They do not.
Oh, they don't want you to stay in the home. So
Well,
how do you help?
They do not want the home back.
Right, they don't want the home back.
Depending on where the home is. But
Okay.
what a lot of homeowners do is they reach out to the banks, and the banks do tell them they don't need a lawyer to go through the loan modification process, which obviously I disagree with. There has to be checks and balances there, someone to hold the bank accountable. What I do know is when a homeowner does go through a loan modification process themselves, they get ignored. And you know, they're not used to you know, following up with the banks, knowing the laws that the banks are required to comply with when they're going through loan modification, so things slips through the cracks. And then they end up going into foreclosure. And at that point in time, some homeowners are still being told by banks that they don't need a lawyer, although the bank has lawyered up and have filed foreclosure.
Right.
Okay.
So they have lawyers, but they're telling you that you don't need lawyers.
That's correct. So even through the loan modification process before foreclosure is filed, I would recommend for any homeowner to seek the guidance of counsel. I mean, I myself have done many loan modifications, and it's tedious work because you constantly have to follow up with the bank to make sure that the bank is doing what the bank is supposed to do. There are times where the bank will get the loan modification request. They need documentation, and they will not reach out to the homeowner. They'll let it sit, dismiss it, and file foreclosure and place in the file that the homeowner is non-responsive, and that's why they had to file foreclosure.
Attorney Jones, if somebody cannot pay their mortgage, how would they afford to pay an attorney?
Okay. Well, all depends. It works out. To be quite honest, the situation works out to be even.
Probably
in a sense
even
that
better once you have a lawyer, because the lawyer is really saving you money that, you know, would have gone to the lender or to the bank. I mean, you could get into that process during the loan modification process, you know, how someone who was paying like a mortgage of $3,000 and you come in as a lawyer, okay, and get them to reduce the mortgage to $1,200 or $1,500. So the lawyer is actually, you know, you're not really paying the lawyer. In reality, you're really saving money by hiring this lawyer to help you out.
right. In actuality, what the homeowner is doing is making an investment in comfort and convenience, in a sense, and to be able to keep their homes. So at the end of the day, if a homeowner sits back and does nothing, what's going to happen is the bank is going to foreclose, take the property. So where will the homeowner be in about 6 months? Because it is possible for a bank to foreclose and really throw a homeowner out of their home in about 6 months. And where would that homeowner be that is with no ability to, bad credit? They would generally have to come up with first, last, and security, moving costs, and changing schools for kids and those types of things. It gets costly. When they, and I can only speak from my point of view, when a homeowner does come into our office and says, look, I can't afford to pay this mortgage, I'm in foreclosure, I need help, we actually sit down with the homeowner and come up with a plan. There's always a structure that can be put in place where the lawyer, not the lawyer, but the homeowner can afford to make the payment.
Is there a guarantee that you will be able to save that homeowner's home?
Lawyers cannot make guarantees.
There's nothing in life that's guaranteed, Mark. So.
Well, I'm speaking from this lawyer's point of view, but what we will do is work with the homeowner through the process, and the process, can take anywhere between a year to 5 years. But throughout that process, we're constantly counseling the homeowner. We're telling the homeowner, save your money. Okay, you're not paying the bank. Put that money away. for whatever purpose it may be, if they're going through a loan modification process. And at the end of the process, the bank may want them to put down some monies to be able to move forward. Plan to reduce the debt when they're able to make payments if they get through a loan modification process. If it ends up that they have to relocate because there was no way to save the home by way of coming up with a good modification that the homeowner can afford, they'll have monies to relocate. They would have saved years of monies to be able to relocate comfortably rather than being forced out with no money and nowhere to go.
You said years. How long does it take to go through the process?
Well, I mean, if a foreclosure is filed and a homeowner sits back and does nothing, it can be wrapped up in about 6 months to 9 months. If a homeowner does hire an attorney to defend them in the action, depending on the issues that are in the case, it can take between 2 years, 4 years.
And just because the bank or the lender files for foreclosure doesn't necessarily mean that the lawsuit is valid, because there's a bunch of procedures, federal guidelines that are into place before the bank could file for foreclosure. But a lot of times, although they file for foreclosure, if you don't have the guiding hands of someone to help you out to know that, they didn't cross their I's and dotted their T's. Speak about that.
Just because a bank gives you a loan or has a mortgage on your property doesn't mean that that loan was acquired properly. Okay? There's fraud out there. I've seen situations where, homeowners didn't even sign the loan documents that are in place. Like there's bait and switch. For instance, I did have a situation where a homeowner signed a loan where she was paying like $1,000 a month or so with taxes and insurance. When the bank, she started making those payments pursuant to the documents that she had in hand. The bank later on said to her that she's making inadequate payments. They submitted to her loan documents that were absolutely different from the ones she had in her possession. That's obviously fraud.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, I mean, with the foreclosures that are filed, there are plenty of defenses that some homeowners may have. And if those defenses are litigated, it can take years to resolve.
And you really need an attorney to go through the process.
To sort through.
The
bank is not always right.
Merci. Nous rappelons à garder law, politics and society. Avec nous aujourd'hui, c'est avocat Walton Jones, qui a officié à Miami, plus que 17 ans d'expérience. Donc, si vous avez un problème foreclosure, short sale, tout à fait real estate, c'est contacter officieux dans le numéro 786 230 1091. La propose et puis la retourner tout à l'heure.
Si vous avez besoin d'un avocat pour immigration, cas criminel, l'État et fédéral, relais avocat dans le bureau André Pierre dans 305 398 96 46. Pour accident machine, dérangement dans le travail, glisser et tomber, relais avocat André Pierre dans 305 398 96 46. Ou ka gen droit jusqu'à $10,000 dans bénéfice. C'est seul un avocat qui a fait rejoindre l'argent. Nous ici là pour servir. Si vous pas touché, nous pas touché. Ou pas pral doué frère avocat avec des pensions. Relais avocat André Pierre dans 305 398 96 46 ou soit aller dans 550 Northeast 124e rue dans North Miami.
Et puis, un patronat spécial de Signal Consulting Group, Business Plan et 501c3, 305 308 82 29. Merci d'être été avec nous. On va regarder Law, Politics and Society. Non pas moi, c'est Max Ocinal. Avec moi, comme toujours, c'est Maître André Pierre, un avocat d'expérience en dedans communautaire, plus que 18 ans d'expérience. Jeudi, on a parlé de real estate. Plus précisément, on a parlé de foreclosure, short sale et bankruptcy. Avec nous, c'est Maître Walton Jones and Brown, un avocat de renommée en dedans communautaire, en large. Et puis, il a plus que 17 ans d'expérience qui a aidé nous comprendre toute ramification qui gagne sous affaires real estate. Matt Jones, Attorney Jones, before you were talking about foreclosure, the understanding is once I'm in foreclosure, that said the bank is going to take my house away from me. Are there other options available?
Yes. First, whenever a homeowner goes into foreclosure, I definitely do not see it as a bank is going to take their home. When a homeowner comes into our office, we actually sit down with the homeowner and get an understanding as to what's happening, like what happened, okay? Sometimes it's just they're in foreclosure improperly. They had been making their payments, and their payments are being applied to somebody else's account. So we actually go through the process of reviewing and investigating. There are times, too, where a homeowner has the ability to pay, but not the ability to pay the amount that the bank is asking. So the next step would be to go through a loan modification process inside the foreclosure proceeding itself. If that doesn't work, or if it looks like the homeowner needs some type of payment restructuring, then the bankruptcy option may exist. And what we do at that point, we'll sit down with the homeowner, understand all of their debts, their income, and assess whether or not they're a good candidate for bankruptcy. Within the bankruptcy structure, there is the ability to also do a loan modification through the bankruptcy court, which is heavily, heavily watched by and governed by the bankruptcy court with strict rules that the bank has to follow. Unlike outside of the bankruptcy setting, let's just say within the state court setting, the courts on the state court level does not administer the loan modification process as heavily as the bankruptcy court does. So sometimes it is favorable for a homeowner to go through the loan modification process within the bankruptcy proceedings, because the court has strict requirements as to when the bank has to respond, when a loan modification is filed, time frames for the bank to produce documents to the homeowner, and also produce a response to the homeowner for the loan modification.
How do you overcome the perception that, bankruptcy, I'm messing up my credit?
Okay.
How do you deal with that perception?
If a homeowner comes to our office and they're already in mortgage foreclosure or have missed payments, their credit score has already dipped greatly.
Right.
Filing bankruptcy really minimally affects the credit score, beyond the credit score that person already has because the foreclosure is on their credit. Okay, and bankruptcy is just a way to start anew. Start anew with restructuring your payments. Start anew with your relationship with your bank. As far as modifying your loan payments, it's a new start to.
And talk about Donald Trump went to bankruptcy. He's a
He's
multi-billionaire.
filed bankruptcy about 3 times, and every time he has filed, he got better. What he did was
gets more money.
He gets more money. He clears the slate. He starts anew, and he builds more of a solid foundation every time he files bankruptcy.
So how do you explain that to the people, that the guy who is going to be president, or maybe president of the United States of America, has actually went to bankruptcy 3 times, while the ordinary people are afraid of going to bankruptcy?
One of the concerns that people have, specifically if they have a family, they might be afraid that the bankruptcy will have an impact on their spouses or their children.
Okay.
Is it something that is legitimate?
It's really not a legitimate concern, and let me explain to you why. If one spouse files bankruptcy it doesn't impact the other spouse's credit unless the spouse entered into an agreement or is filing bankruptcy with the spouse. Okay? And, you know, as far as the 7-year, you know, bad credit or whatever, in this day and age, a lot of people have filed bankruptcy. A lot of the credit bureaus are now restructuring their credit reporting to accommodate the massive filings. You know, after about 2 years of filing bankruptcy, your credit actually starts to rebuild. You want to know why? After you have filed bankruptcy, you can, and you have been discharged, your debt has been discharged from you, you cannot file it for another 7 years. So you, as a person that have just filed bankruptcy, you are a good candidate for any credit card company that's out there. Because they know that you have to pay them because you don't have the ability to file bankruptcy for another 7 years. So that's why after you file bankruptcy, a lot of people, a lot of credit cards start sending applications to those people. They may start off with a small balance, but as they, you know, receive the credit card and use it and make the payments, it starts to ramp up their credit exponentially, actually.
Will bankruptcy have an impact on your job search?
Not at all. Under the federal laws, it does not impact your job. Your employer is not allowed to discharge you because you have filed bankruptcy. Again, bankruptcy in this day and age, it's happening on an exponential level. I mean, investors, companies, not just the little man has filed bankruptcy, but lots of large companies, lots of investors with money have filed.
American Airlines went to bankruptcy too?
They did. And they're even stronger than they were before.
Nous rappelons à regarder law, politics and society. Non pas M. Max Sosinal, n'a proposé puis n'a retourné tout à l'heure.
Okay.
Si vous avez besoin d'un avocat pour immigration, cas criminel, l'État et fédéral, relais avocat yo dans bureau André Pierre dans 305 398 96 46. Pour accident machine, dérangement dans le travail, glisser et tomber, relais avocat André Pierre dans 305 398 96 46. Ou ka gen droit jusqu'à $10,000 dans bénéfice. C'est seul un avocat qui peut faire joindre l'argent. Nous ici là pour servir. Si vous pas touché, nous pas touché. Ou pas pral doué frais avocat avec dépenses. Relais avocat André Pierre dans 305 398 96 46 ou soit aller dans 550 Northeast 124e rue dans North Miami.
Et puis, un patronat spécial de Signal Consulting Group, Business Plan et 501c3, 305 308 82 29. Merci d'être été avec nous. Nous rappelons regarder Law, Politics and Society. Non pas moi, c'est Max Sosinal. Avec moi aujourd'hui, c'est Maître André Pierre comme à l'ordinaire, un avocat de renommée, plus que 18 ans d'expérience. Aujourd'hui, on a parlé de real estate, foreclosure, bankruptcy. Et peut-être ça, nous invitons un expert, c'est Maître Walton Jones, un avocat qui a plus que 17 ans depuis la pratique de droit real estate. Et c'est un plaisir pour lui gagner avec nous. Attorney Jones, you touch on several options that we have. You talk about foreclosure, bankruptcy. Is it important to have an attorney when you think about short sale?
I believe so. I absolutely believe in that. The short sale process is an option for a homeowner that, you know, wants to leave the home, but, you know, leave the home with in good standings and not really impact their, how can I put this, their credit can rebound as well with entering into an agreement with the bank to sell the property through a short sale process. Because nowadays, most properties are underwater. The bank is willing to go through the process.
What does that mean, underwater?
Oh, excuse me. What that means is, what underwater means is that the property value itself is less than the mortgage that's on it.
Okay.
And a lot of banks are willing to entertain selling the property for less than the bank is owed, given the economy and the real estate environment. And a short sale is not the standard sale transaction. There's a lot of requirements that the bank will place on the homeowner and the real estate brokers. Where we would generally come in is reviewing the sales contracts and the requirements that the bank will place on the homeowner to be able to sell their home at a short sale. Our main goal through the short sale process is to make sure that the homeowner does not get hit with a deficiency. And what that means is to make sure that the bank, after the property is sold through a short sale process, does not try to go after the homeowner for the difference between the sale price and the amount that's owed. A lot of homeowners make this mistake by not hiring attorneys to review their short sale agreements. And they end up being sued later on by the bank for the difference between the price that they sold the property for and the loan that they have in place.
Is it legal for the bank to do so?
It is absolutely legal if the homeowner does not enter into an agreement with the bank to waive that deficiency.
And most likely an attorney is the only person who can help you go through that process.
An attorney that represents a homeowner through the short sale process will definitely negotiate with the bank that the only way the short sale will take place is if the bank waives the deficiency requirement.
When you owe the bank money, can they harass you, calling you at work?
Under the laws, the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, no.
If they do?
They're not allowed to harass you, and if they do, you can make money on that end too. The laws do provide for penalties against any debt collector, including a bank, for harassment, improper collection practices, ranging between $500 and $1,000 per occurrence.
Except for student loans, of course.
There's no getting around student loans. You can't even wipe out student loans through the bankruptcy
They
process.
could call you twice a day, at work, at home.
You know,
You mentioned earlier
Education is-
bankruptcy is an option for somebody who's going through a foreclosure. I know a lot of viewers may have credit cards also. Are they allowed or can do bankruptcy if they have too many credit cards that they think that they cannot pay?
bankruptcy is available not only to a homeowner, but it's available to anyone that has debt.
Is it different
And
from the bankruptcy from home foreclosure and the credit cards?
It is not a different process. The bankruptcies are the same. The requirements are the same. There's Chapter 7 and there's Chapter 13. A lot of credit card holders that do not own real property or have any debt that has collateral generally goes through the Chapter 7 process, and that is to discharge unsecured debt, because credit card debts are unsecured debts. So the process that would be used by someone that has just credit card debts, that is the bankruptcy process that would be used, would be a little different. Most credit card holders that want to just be relieved and start fresh, that only have credit cards will generally go through a Chapter 7. If the homeowner is going through a bankruptcy process and they have a home, they have a car, they generally want to go through a Chapter 13. And what that does is it helps them to restructure their repayment plan.
You touch on several topics. Help me understand who should come to see you in case they have a need for an attorney.
I say anyone who has a need for an attorney can come and see me.
Right.
Are there specific needs?
But we're a general practice real estate firm, and as real estate practitioners, we touch on so many different areas of the law, whether it be mortgage law, lien laws, county, local municipal liens and code violations. We work with clients, with respect to probate work. So anyone that has real estate and that have issues, we can help them.
So give them your information.
Carla Jones with Walton Jones & Brown. I may be reached at 786-230-1091.
Merci beaucoup, Maître Walton Jones. C'est un plaisir pour nous te gagner avec nous. Merci d'être quitté nous rentrer la cage aujourd'hui. Et comme à l'ordinaire, de avec Maître André Pierre.
Encore, merci, nous bien rencontrés aujourd'hui. Nous disons merci avec Attorney Carla Jones pour job well done. Il y a pile d'informations qui est importante, que nous-mêmes nous avons utilisé, qui pourrait aider nous dans toutes sortes de real estate transactions que nous gagnons.
Alors donc, nous avons rendez-vous pour jeudi prochain pour notre émission Law, Politics and Society. Non pas moi, c'est Max Socinal. Nous espérons que vous passez un très bon week-end. Au revoir.